Hi, in today's video, I just want to talk about the concept of bowing the left wrist, so I'm making this motion to close the club face. So bowing the left wrist on its own doesn't necessarily close the club face. There's a combination of movements that when we do them together, it will close the face, but this can be done incorrectly. Obviously, we can bow that wrist and get the club face wide open. So I just want to show you the motion that maybe some of you are doing that might be causing some issues. You're bowing the wrist, expecting the club face to close, expecting the ball to come on the left. Actually, it's not doing what you want it to do. So if I hold the sort of left arm up in the air, and I bow that left wrist, what's happening to that club face? So if I bow the wrist, just rotate the wrist and hinge it in this direction, you can see that club face actually points more to the right. So you can sort of see that. I bring it down and I rotate really hard. Again, I've still got a very open club face. So bowing the wrist independently doesn't actually close the club face. Now, what does happen when we bow the wrist and uncock the wrist, so we get this combination of bowing the wrist this way, uncocking the wrist, the forearm will want to rotate. So there's a couple of motion there where we bow the wrist and uncock the wrist, the forearm will rotate, and the forearm rotation is what closes the club face. So again, there's two ways of closing that. We're bowing that wrist if you like. There's bowing it horizontally this way. On it independently, we'll open the face up. Then we've got bowing, uncocking the wrist, and that creates forearm rotation. And that forearm rotation, I said, this sort of screwdriver move is what causes the closing of the club face. It's not the bowing of the wrist that closes the face, it's the fact that the forearm rotates when we bow the wrist with a sort of a slight uncocking motion in the wrist as well. So it's this shape we're looking for, almost this twisting of that club face. That's coming from the forearm, not necessarily from the wrist, rather than this bowing horizontally, which opens the club face up. You sort of see that it's pointing to the right. If I bow it and allow that uncocking and forearm rotation to occur, you can see now how that's starting to close that club face. So again, a big key, how you bow the wrist is really important. If you bow the wrist incorrectly, it's going to go more right. Obviously, if you bow the club face and then add the uncocking motion plus the forearm rotation, this sort of coupled motion of bowing and uncocking, again, just help the forearm rotation. You can see how that can close the club face.